A lovely good morning to all my dear students. How are you all? I hope everybody is safe and sound at home. Okay, dear friends, I am Biju Joseph, your English teacher. Today we discuss a poem from your 10th class textbook, First Flight. The name of the poem is Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. You have learned many poems of Robert Frost even in the last last year, 9th class. We have The Road Not Taken. Today we have Fire and Ice. You know, Robert Frost is an American poet. Almost all his poems we find natural elements. So his poems are stethoscopic of nature. So he is the only English poet who received 4 Pulitzer Prize for poetry. In this poem, the fire and ice, also we find natural elements. One is fire, the other one is ice. You know, he got the cue from Dante's Inferno. You know, Inferno, there are discuss 7 deadly sins and the punishment the sinners receive after they reach the hell. So that is what he has taken some 2 points, fire and ice. They are symbolical, not the literary meaning of fire and ice. They are symbolical. So let us see what he means by fire and ice. So let us come in deep into this poem, okay? So we have fire. We all know what fire is. It's a natural element which has a very highly destructive force, you know, fire. So extreme heat, nothing can survive. Life is almost impossible in the extreme temperature. And the other aspect is ice. Here also, life is impossible. In a frozen, extreme low temperature, life is almost impossible. So the poet wants to say this, by this fire and ice, they are destructive forces. The world will come to an end either by fire or by ice. So this is literally meaning, but when we go deep into this fire and ice, let us see what the poet means by fire. So fire is symbolical. So symbolical meaning of fire here is desire. So fire stands for desire. The first point is desire. Then we can go to other aspects of desire. You see, human wants are endless. So when we get something, we crave for something else, and then we want something else. So that is desire, wants, unlimited wants, and that leads to greed. So this is saying that there is enough for our needs, but the world is not enough for our greed. So the extreme desire, uncontrolled, unchecked emotions can cause destruction. It is self-destructive emotions of human beings. It can also cause destruction to the world in a massive way. So that is the symbolic of fire. Okay. Okay. Sri Buddha has said desire is a cause of all evils. Okay. So human desires, we should not do anything that our heads can stand. That means we should be controlling, we should be in check of our emotions. That emotions should not drive us into actions. In that case, the destruction, or either self-destruction or the destruction of other elements around us will take place. You see, the human wants are unlimited. Our greed leads to exploitation of nature. We cut down trees, and our thoughtless actions can really cause harm to the nature. And this is what the present world is experiencing. See, our thoughtless action leads to all these kind of natural calamities to an extent, and even the global warmings are the products of human actions. So our desire can cause an end to the world, or it can destroy. It is so powerful, or it is powerful enough to put an end to the world. Okay, that's the first thing that he talks about. He can give you examples of, you see, if you read the drama written by William Shakespeare, Macbeth. See, Macbeth, he has a desire for power. as his desire, his burning desire in him, he wants to get the power of the king. So he goes to an extent of killing the existing king, Mr. Duncan, and he came to be the king. But what was the result? Ultimately, he also was killed. There was a bloodshed. So that is the result of unchecked desire, you see. And our wants are limitless. When we get something, we crave for something else, and it leads to something else. So unsatiated, it is never satisfied our needs. So we should always keep a check to our human emotions, especially desire, and then only we can handle it in a proper way. Whatever emotions be, it can be love or lust or whatever it is. If it is unchecked, it is dangerous. And also, so dear students, I hope you understood by now what poet means by fire. It is not the literary meaning of the fire, that of course is dangerous, but the poet means our human emotions, burning emotions of human, whatever emotions be, when that is in extreme, it is dangerous. Okay, so now let us come to the second element, that is ice. Ice means very cold, chill, frozen. So we have heard many times, cold-blooded murder, cold. There is no warmth. There is no, you see, hatred is the main cause of this. Ice means hatred here. Hatred or despise, our anger sometimes is unsympathetic. It can be insensitive to others. So all this also is powerful means to destroy ourselves and others. So that is what means by hatred. You see, when we don't like someone, we are looking for some kind of means to harm others. We take different steps. We take a lot of we spend a lot of time to think about how to destroy them, the people we don't like, the people whom we hate. So this kind of feelings, hatred, also ends in war. Okay, society against other society, or community against other community, class against other class, individual against other individual, nation against other nations, all because of hatred. Now we know we have the examples of war. You see, now recently we have Israel on Palestine. We don't know the reasons, and we don't support either because we don't have it. Just for we understood that it all causes distractions when we are unsympathetic or insensitive, when we hate someone, there is no peace. So it also kills or causes distractions. There's a saying that hatred is something like taking medicine, taking poison and expecting others to die. When we take poison and expecting others to die, it doesn't happen. So it is self-destructive in that way. So that is what the poet means. Fire and ice. Fire stands for desire, human wants, and unlimited wants of human greed and jealousy, or whatever we can say. And ice is hatred, our angry. We become quarrelsome when we hate somebody. We are unsympathetic or insensitive, we can say. So these are the 2 points that we discussed from the heading itself, fire and ice. I hope you got it. And now, okay, dear students, I hope that you are familiar with the 2 terms, fire and ice. Now let us read and understand the poem in its depth. Okay, fine. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Now the poet say here, some people say the world will end in fire, and some others would say in ice. So people take 2 sides. People have 2 opinions. Anyway the world would end, that is sure, but it should be either by fire or by ice. The people take 2 sides. Some people say the world is surely going to end in fire. Some others say it is in ice. But the poet did not say. Poet has not expressed his view his idea, but he says what others say. What would the people say about the end of the world? So he said, some people say in fire, some others say in ice. No, he says, from what I have tasted of desire. So what? From his personal experience of this, he hold the view. See, from what I have tasted, who is I here? The poet, Robert Frost. He says, from my personal experience of desire, you know that fire stands for desire. So from my experience of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So I join with the people who hold the view that fire is strong enough, fire can destroy the world. So I agree with the people who has this idea of desire. Oh, the world's end is surely by fire. You got it? Once again we shall see. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So, a couple of words you see. Desire, that is our human wants or emotions. Tasted is experienced from his own knowledge. Okay. Hold is agree. I go with, I hold, I join. Okay. Favor. What is favor? He sides. He is in the company. He is in the side of the people who say the end of the world is in fire. Got that first answer? Okay, now let us move to the second. So, the first answer he explained, the end of the world is sure by fire. The end of the world is possible in two different ways. One is by fire and the other opinion is by ice. Now, he says it is by fire. First, he joins with the people who say the end of the world is in fire. Now, he said, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. To say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Now let us see. If the world had to end twice, one is by fire, and if that is not okay, but if it had to end, perish is to destroy. To end twice, what is with fire? And the second, if there is other way to end the world, I think I know enough of hate. And that is by hate. You know, hate? Hate is actually symbolic of ice. Okay. Now, to say that for destruction, ice is also strong enough or powerful enough to destroy the world is also great. Ice has great power. Ice is hated. Okay. Our emotions, hated, holy emotions is powerful enough to end the world. Okay. And would suffice. And the power of the hatred is sufficient. Suffice is enough, sufficient to put an end to the world. Okay, dear students, so let us conclude the poem. Here the poet says the world will end in two ways. And one can be by fire. By fire, it is very quick. The end of the world will be fast. And the second way of destruction is by ice, by hatred. It is slowly but surely. So these are the two ways he says the world would come to an end. One is by fire. We know what fire stands for, our human desire, burning desires or excessive wants or our craving for things, our greed, okay? And the other one is hatred, our despise, dislikes, anger or insensitivity, all these kind of cold emotions, not warm, cold emotions without any feelings, you see. We would say a stone heart. See? So such emotions can also bring about destruction of the world. I hope all of you understood the poem, literary meanings as well as the symbolic meanings in depth in two stanzas. Okay. Now let us move to the poetic device the poet used in this poem. Okay. Okay, students, now let us see the literary device used by the poet in this poem. First, let us take the rhyme scheme, the rhyme of this poem. Let's see. See the word fire, desire, fire. All these words have the same sound. So we can write here fire, A, desire, A, and fire, A. Now let us see the second line, ends in eyes. So eyes, here twice, eyes again, suffice. So we have taken fire, desire, fire as A. Now let us give it B. Eyes, B, twice, B, eyes, B, and suffice, B. They all have the same sound. And now we have height. We shall give here C, and great, C. Height, great. So this is a rhyme scheme now. We have this poem, we have 9 lines. So we have the rhyme A, B, A, B, C, and B, C, B. This is the rhyme scheme of this poem. Okay, you got it? Fine. Okay, the next poetic device used in this is assonance. I am going to write here assonance. What's assonance? Assonance is a repetition of a vowel sound in 2 or more in the same line. Okay, now let us see. The first line, will, in, fire. See, the E sound is repeated. So that is, we can take an example for assonance. And if you come down to the 4th line, or we have hold, those, favor. O sound, the vowel sound is repeated. So this can be given as an example for assonance. So rhyme scheme we saw, and we have assonance now. Got these two? Okay, fine. The next poetic device we can find in this poem is alliteration, the term called alliteration. A-L-L-I, alliteration. Okay, what do you understand by alliteration? The repetition of a consonant sound at the start of 2 or more words in a line. Okay, repetition of a consonant sound at the start, the beginning of 2 or more words in a line. Remember that at the beginning. So if you see here, s sound in some and s sound in say as example of alliteration. We have the wo sound in word and were in will. And if we come down, we have f sound in favor and f in fire. This can be taken as an example for alliteration. Okay. So we have s sound in some and s sound in say. We have v sound in will and will. We have f sound, consonant sound at the beginning of favor, and f in fire. Okay, these are the examples for alliteration. Got it? Good. The next poetic device is imagery. It is a trick used by the poet to invoke or to visualize certain images into the mind of the people when they read it. So if you see, some say the word will end in fire and some say in eyes. When we read the word fire and eyes, it brings a kind of images, or we can visualize things. Okay, some kind of picture appears in our mind because we have experienced fire and ice. So those experience can be brought into the mind of reader. So that is the technique used by the poets, imagery. So when we read such words, those images or pictures or visuals comes to the reader's mind. So that's the technique used in this imagery. Examples can be fire and ice. Okay, good. The next poetic device used in this poem is anaphora. Anaphora. So what do you understand by anaphora? It is a repetition of a word or an idea in two or more consecutive lines. Okay, what is anaphora? Anaphora is a repetition of a word or an idea in two or more consecutive lines. That is called anaphora. We have example in this poem. See, some say the world will end in fire. The first line. Second lines also begin with the same, some say. So that is an example of anaphora. So the repetition of a word or idea, same word or idea in two or more consecutive lines is called anaphora. Okay. Some say in the first line, the second line also begins with the same, some say. So that is the technique used by the poet. It's called anaphora. Got it? The other device we find in this poem is personification. Okay, personification. Personification is actually giving or attributing human qualities to inanimate objects. See, lifeless things are given human qualities. In this we have fire and ice are so associated with the human emotions, see, having life. So, as a personification in this poem, the poet has used two words here, fire and ice, and they have the power to destroy, like human emotions. They are given life when we come to emotions or feelings in humans. So, this is attributed. The human emotion is attributed to fire and ice. So, that is personification technique used in this poem. Okay, fine. So another poetic device or technique used in this poem is enjambment. 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 What is enjambment? A thought or an idea continuing into two or more consecutive lines without a punctuation mark. So enjambment means same thought or idea running down into two or more consecutive lines without any punctuation marks. See the second stanza we see here. To say that for distraction eyes, there is no punctuation mark, is also great, there is no punctuation mark, and world would suffice, there is a punctuation mark. So this is an example for enjambment. Same idea or thought is running down into two or more consecutive lines without any punctuation mark. That device is called enjambment. So these are the major poetic device we come across in this poem. First one is assonance. We know what assonance is, and alliteration we found, and imagery we have, anaphora, personification, and enjambment. These are the 6 major poetic device we find in this poem. I hope it is clear. We also found the rhyme scheme also here, and I hope I have explained this poem in its detail and in its depth so that you can understand it in all its importance. So that is all for today's class. I hope everybody understood it well. So see you in the next class. Thank you all.